Hey everybody, welcome back to the shop. I hope everybody had a good week, and I hope you have a good week this week since you're watching this and it's Monday. Hopefully it's Monday. If you're not watching this and it's Tuesday, that means that my filming just ran long and I couldn't get it out till late Monday. So anyway, hope everybody had a good week. I hope this week is awesome also. And yeah, let's see, where are we? This is video 3 of the rear end build. The first video, you know, you saw the template that I had made of the rear end housing, and then we made a pattern and off of that, and we canvassed it and we put it in the computer and G-coded it, and then we cut it out. And then the second video was we tested it out as far as breaking and bending to geometry my pattern. And that was important for me because the way I plan on building these are per order, because every rear end length and width is going to be unique to the customer's build. But more so, I want to be able to build these rear ends quickly, not just because customers want them as soon as possible, but time is money, and the least amount of time I spend on it, then that savings gets passed on to the customer. So that part 2 video of me bending and breaking to geometry my pattern was important, because with my tools that I have, because I don't have a huge machine shop or anything, but that proved to me that I'm capable of having dies made, and with my presses be able to press that out really quickly. So when we did it in the video, it was time-lapsed. It was pretty fast, but that only took me I don't know, maybe 10 minutes to get that to bent to geometry. And the way it's all cut and it's all patterned out into one sheet of metal, you can't really mess it up. It's just triangles and they all fit together one way. So that was important. So that was video 2, and that was important. So I'm going to go ahead and have the dies made, and then I'll get them installed into the presses, and then all I got to do is cut it out of the sheet metal and clean it up, and then put it in the presses and bend it and weld it up. And so today we're going to take the next step, and we're going to use the jig and the fixture plate that keeps the axle tubes in perfect alignment with each other as we put all these puzzle pieces together. So you'll see that. So, but real quick, I want to give you a truck update. Brett and Steve will be here Friday. I'll go into town and pick them up on Friday, and then we're testing all weekend. So the truck's got to be together and ready to rock before then, and it will be. I took the time. I actually had the truck pretty much all together, and then I decided, since I had the time, there was a bunch of little things that we had to rush on for the last race that we just kind of cut corners on. They weren't important stuff, but it was just a bunch of little stuff, like cosmetic things. So I went ahead and took the time and took the tins back off of the truck, and was going to clean all that up. So I'll give you a quick update on what that is. I'll start at the back end of the truck, and we'll just work our way around. So if the rest of the team's watching this, don't freak out. The truck's good to go. It's just all cosmetic stuff on it. So one thing was, inside the fill cap, there was a valve. It's like an anti-rollover valve, and it created a lot of problems when we were trying to fill it with fuel. The cap came with one. We didn't need it because the tank itself has an anti-rollover. So long story short, I took that whole valve out. So this is just an open tube that the fill tube can just, from the fuel can, can just get put in there. So I fixed that, cleaned it up. I also fixed our rollover vent tube. You guys know about the pinion angle. I changed the pinion angle and corrected it on the rear end, and I beefed up some of our braces, brackets down there for the upper links. I also beefed up the ends of the sway bar, made this adjustable bracket for the sway bar, and it beefs that up a little bit. And then this is the new radiator. It's a lot bigger. It's a 5-core, I can't remember the brand, but it's a 5-core aluminum radiator. Got rid of the 2 high-low system that I had, and it's lower in the truck, so more in line with the motor, so we won't have that vapor locking issue. Let's see what else. The transmission's back. That's the big deal right there. Competition transmission, knocked this thing out. He called me up and said, I'll have it ready for you. And 8 hours later, it was done. and that's completely gone through. So that's a turbo 400, just a traditional turbo 400 trans. It's got a billet input shaft. Everything inside is brand new. TCI manual reverse shift pattern valve body, and then all heavy duty red off-road racing clutches. And he did some other tweaks and stuff to it, so I'm really excited to see how that works. The thing will handle way more horsepower than we're putting out, so that's good. It's overbuilt and should last us a while. I also corrected some electrical gremlins that we had. It was kind of weird. It was a grounding issue, but the computer that controlled all of our lights, you probably remember it in the video from the race, but whenever we started the truck, it shut the computer all off. And then we had to unplug it and plug it back in just to get the lights and stuff to come on. It was really weird. So I discovered that it was just a ground. So I got that all cleaned up. I also redid my accelerator pedal. I moved it back and then changed the linkage. So it's got more leverage. It's easier to push. It's just better, stronger system. And then in doing so, I discovered that one of our cables was broke. So that would have sucked. Would have been bad. Good thing we run 2 of them. So I've got 2. I wasn't really happy with that style cable anyway. It was kind of cheesy. I don't remember where I got them, but yeah. So I got heavier duty ones coming. And then you guys saw the brakes. You saw the bumper. That's all done. Oils, the system's all good to go. Fixed all those leaks. There was some little fittings that were weeping a little bit. So yeah, oh, and then the tins, the reason the tins off of it, I went through and cleaned up a lot of the edges and then threw a coat of heavy duty paint on it too, on those, just to clean them up. So yeah, so I'll have this thing back together, all the tins and everything back on it today, except for my tin on this side, because the accelerator, the gas pedal cable's got to go through there. So I'll have this thing all back together tonight for sure, and then it'll be on its wheels for sure probably Wednesday or Thursday, and I'll fire it up and make sure it's good to go for when Steve and Brett get here. So anyway, that's the truck. That's where we're at. It's good to go. So the rear end, let's get to it. Let me get you set up here so you can see things a little better. Okay, so these are the faceplate that goes to the front of the differential. This is what, or the housing, this is what your differential bolts to. I went ahead, I just cut these, I patterned them out. I did exactly the same way I did this. I didn't film it because it's the same process. I took a picture, used canvas, and then cut them out and cleaned them up. So these are the end plates. One goes here. These are all made out of 1/4 inch plate, and then this one goes farther inside, and that's what the axle tubes go on into. And this is the inner bracing basically of the housing that the axle tubes are fastened to. This is the jig. This is the fixture plate here. I think this is a Alston Chassis Works jig. This thing is machined straight. This bar weighs like 42 pounds. And basically how it works is this slides out. So without this, picture this not in it. The faceplate goes on like that, and bolts. The studs go through there like this. They're pressed in. And then this fixture plate bolts to this underneath this. And then this stuff all comes on and slides on like this, which will be like that. And then that's all welded together. And then the tubes come in, slide into here, and you use an end cap, like threads onto the end of this, and that holds the tube on. You'll see it. I know I'm explaining it terrible. It's not a good explanation at all, but you'll see it. Basically, this holds everything in alignment and true. So when you put your axles in, everything's super straight. There's no binding. And then you use this fixture plate to weld all of this together. So you'll see it. I'm explaining it terrible, but you'll get the idea. Yeah. So when I put it together, I'm gonna MIG. I'm just going to use the MIG welder to tack these into place, just because it's easier and faster, and I've only got 2 hands to hold some of this stuff, and so I'll use the MIG to tack it all together. But ultimately, this thing's going to be completely TIG welded because it looks better and it's stronger, and I have more control over the weld. So, but that'll be an option. You can order it TIG welded or MIG welded. So, yeah, that's what we're going to do today. And I've done a lot of these. When I was in Sacramento, the hot rod shop that I worked for there, I built a lot of rear ends, but I've never done one fully fabricated like this. We got the pumpkins that were pretty much already done, and in doing so, that's where I learned little areas of improvement that could be made. So that's what I'm trying to do here. So anyway, yeah, all right, let's get to it. I'll get this thing jigged up and get the welders all set up, and yeah, let's see what we can do, see what we can break. Yeah, let's do it. Did it backwards. That was dumb. Okay, let me show you where we're at here. So we've got it in the fixture plate. The face plate is torqued down to the fixture plate, so it holds it absolute flat during welding. That way there's no warpage. I started with the short side. So on rear ends, especially 9 inches, 4 9-inch, there's a long tube and a short tube. And the reason being is the pinion that the driveline hooks to in relation to the ring gear that it turns, that turns the axles, it's offset. So that offsets the whole pumpkin to one side. So there's a couple inch difference on these axle tubes from driver's side to passenger side. So this is the passenger side. So how this works is this is a cone fitting, and the cone, once it's tightened up, it draws this center. So that's center, and then there's these pockets, these little notches that are notched into the faceplate, and there's more in the fixture on the bottom side. You can't see it, but when the tube's drawn in and it's drawn tight, when I thread this, it pushes it in tight against the fixture plate here. It holds that true. And then these inner gussets go on there, and as you can see, they fit really well. and you tack it together like that. And then I'll fully weld it with it in the fixture. That way, if there's any movement or anything, this thing's strong enough to hold it. That's why this is so heavy duty. And then I'll just repeat the process on the other side. So that's pretty much it. It's a simple process. So yeah, keep going. Okay. Hopefully you can hear me. I need to get a mic. I feel weird with a microphone though, but I need one. So let me turn this off. Okay, so I know I said I was gonna MIG it, but I just decided to TIG it anyway. So there it is. It's tacked into place. Fits together perfectly. It's gonna be nice. So, yeah. I'll get it all welded up. I gotta change the tips on my torch. I gotta put a skinnier cup on there so I can reach in there and get full welds. So, yep, it's looking good. Thinking about selling these as a kit too. Weld it yourself kit with instructions. Might think about that. All right, let's do it. Real quick, so I got a new saw blade from a sponsor that cut this. That's 1/4 inch steel tube. Yeah, I won't mention names, but these guys are pretty awesome. Yeah. give you an update of where we're at. I was taking my time. I didn't want to overheat it, so I was bouncing around a lot, and then I would just stop and let it cool. So you see a couple of spots I was hitting some porosity. I couldn't figure out where it was coming from, so I have a really good habit of making sure all my stuff's really clean. So I think it was my filler rod. Every time I would dab is when the porosity would hit. So had to find some cleaner stuff. I wipe everything down with acetone. Whenever I'm TIG welding mild steel, I'll use acetone. If I'm using chromoly, I'll use like high percent denatured alcohol to clean the stuff. But I don't know, maybe it was the acetone or something. It's kind of weird. But anyway, double passed everything, and everything's TIGged on both sides. So super strong. Looks good. I'll let it cool off, and then I'll pull this out of the jig, and then I'll get on to welding the cover together, the pumpkin, and then we'll get it fitted. So yeah, it's looking good. Almost there. Okay, I think that's it for now. I don't think I'm gonna make a part 4. I'll just finish it up, and then you guys will see what it looks like, hopefully next week. I didn't get it done completely in this video, just because I took longer than I expected to weld it. I was being very, very careful on overheating it. I didn't want to overheat it, and so I was doing a lot of experimenting to see what the tolerances were there. So my point is, I had a bunch of time slotted to get it done for this video, and I went over that, so I'm not going to get it done, and I'm beat. That's a lot of welding and a lot of thinking. My brain is fried. I can't think that much anymore. So, but overall, the project is a great success. To go from a thought in my head to engineered and put in CAD design on the table, and then now it's manifested into an actual physical thing. It's pretty cool, and I'm pretty proud of it, and I think it's going to work out really well. I didn't come across any major hiccups that you know, would throw the project out the door. So it's a good success. I can take what I learned from this one and make a good quality product in a relative short amount of time. So that's good news. So I'll finish this all up probably the next couple of days, since the truck's almost done. I'll show you what I did on it. In between letting it cool and stuff, I was doing stuff on the truck. So yeah, but overall, look, you can see all the spacing and everything. It's really spot on. It needs to go down just a little bit. It's got to fit over the face plate about a 1/16. I'm just going to spread it apart and push it on there. It's really strong. I couldn't open it up at all with just my hands. So I'll just open it up. It's only got to open up probably another 1/16 just to drop down over there. And then I'll just put a bead all the way around it. But it's fully welded inside and out. And I'll put the bungs on it. Yeah, I said bungs. Put the bungs on it, the drain bung, and then the fill bung there. And then I've got trusses, and I'll truss it all up. So it's ready to go. I won't put ends on it, just because I don't know what this will be yet. I might make it look fancy. I'll put our Parabellum P logo on it, and then I'll put our labeled bung cap on it, and maybe get it powder coated, and it'll be our display or something. But I think it'll look pretty good. The welds came out really, really nice. Can't really see them right now, but I'll get those polished up and cleaned up. They look pretty good. All right. Okay, so yeah, I'll finish that up, but that's pretty much the process. That's how I do it. I mean, I'm on a small scale. I'm no mass production major machine shop, but that's how it's done. It goes from the table to, from the plasma table, computer to plasma table to fabrication table. So, yeah. Okay, so this is what I did on the truck. I got Brett's side all done. Got his tins put back on. Added a few more Zeus's, so that's more secure and doesn't rattle. It's nice and quiet. Got his seat in. I moved him over this way a couple of inches just because it was really tight over there. And when we go to get the seat in and out, it was a real booger. So now it's a lot easier. I put a better access hatch for the transmission dipstick. It's right in there. And then I secured his navigation stuff a lot better. So the only thing left to do on this side and that side is the little triangle windows, and then put the pipes on and the panel there. But I want to clean that where it was leaking oil. I'm going to get that all cleaned up so it looks better. And then on my side, I found out that the throttle cables, the new gas pedal cables, will be here tomorrow, which is awesome because we ordered them this morning. So that's amazing. So when they come, I'll put those in, and I'll cover that up, and I'll put my seat in and get this all buttoned up, and then put the tins on, the pipes, and that's it. I'm ready to go. Can't think of anything else. So yeah, next week, like I said, we'll be testing. That'll be good video footage. Be a lot of fun. Bring you guys along. And yeah, we'll finish that rear end. I'll get that out there too. So my brain's not working right now. I'm trying to think. Let's see what else. The truck's gonna be black. Yeah, it's gonna be nice. It's gonna be black. It'll say Parabellum P on the side with the Parabellum Racecraft across the bed, and then it's gonna have Edge Construction Supply triangle here, and then the hood. The hood's gonna look awesome. Here's the old one. You guys know what that looks like, but I'm gonna have a new triangle. It's gonna look like this. It's gonna have the flag. It's gonna be all black and white with the red and stuff. Big old American flag underneath it like that on the hood. So yeah, it's gonna look cool. I think that's about it. So yeah. Thanks to everybody that subscribes and follows us and watches my videos. I really, really appreciate it. I'm still learning this stuff as I go, and it's a lot of fun. And I hope I keep putting out good stuff that people want to watch and enjoy. If not, let me know and I'll change it up. But other than that, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Hit the subscribe, tell your friends, ring the bell, give us a thumbs up, and have a good week. Be safe out there, and I'll see you next week.